Why is it that parasitic people are usually difficult to heal in general? Well, the point is, when we speak about parasitic people, we usually refer to people, and I mean, we always speak to people about people that they kind of consume you, whatever you do around them. They talk to you, you feel drained. They just exist around you, you feel drained. In many cases, or probably in all cases, this stems from a huge amount of lacks or a very few lacks that they have in their life, but that have literally represented their life for most of their existence. These are lacks that are no longer just a simple idea, just like for some reason, in a case, you have something that you want to buy, but you don't have the money, yes. Yet, in the end, it's not much of a tragedy. Yes, you know that you'll get the money sometime and you will work towards that, or you will simply wait it out. In many cases, a lack can end up really traumatizing people and controlling their life subconsciously. Because a lot of people, when you look at them and you say that they have daddy or mommy issues or any other kind of issues, those are nothing else than a set of unhealed, unresolved issues. Yes? These will influence their life, their decisions, their almost entire existence. The more ignorant these people are, the more it will influence them. Yes? So the problem that we may look at is that these people create a lot of thoughts around that kind of lack. They create all sorts of convictions because in the end when people feel bad, they want to feel good. They want to no longer feel bad. And when people feel bad long enough, they no longer seek to be feeling good, to shape into a different state. They just embrace feeling bad as if it is the only possibility in life, as if it is the only thing that life can offer. So they just seek all sorts of reasons to support their feeling bad. And usually, yet again, those stem from their original lacks. Usually, that they feel unworthy of other people's attention, that they don't feel good enough, and this and that. And in time, the more they reinforce those thoughts, those become thought forms. Yes, those thought forms are little parasites that will constantly chew their own energy. This happens with any thought that we give too much attention to, and that is why they constantly repeat. You are becoming like the mother bird for your little birdlings, and they're constantly chirping that they want more food. So you have to sleep, you have to do whatever you do, and then those thoughts pop back into your mind because it's time to feed them again. And a lot of people end up lost in this cycle where most of their spare time and even at work, they just reinforce those thoughts. Anything that people say to them, they will usually interpret it as it being a reinforcement of those bad thoughts that they have made. So many of these people become parasitic because sooner or later they will have invested so much energy into those thought forms that those thought forms end up consuming almost as much energy as they can have, and in time even more. So these people become parasitic. Whoever they stay around, they simply vampirize on that energy because they're becoming like black holes. Yes, those thought forms are becoming like black holes. The more you think about anything in general, and especially on bad thoughts or lower vibrations, because those are dense, the more you fortify those, the more fortified something is, the more physical something is. Similarly, it will also dissipate. Yes, everything that is physical dissipates in time. The more structural you create something, the more layers it has. Each in time will dissipate. Yes, and the point is, it will consume more and more energy to put all those layers back. You see, so many people become the lost architects of their minds. They desperately seek to rebuild those thought forms because they have invested their own energy in those thought forms. And losing those thought forms feels like losing a part of yourself because technically it is a part of yourself. Instead of creating worlds that you can admire, you have created little nightmares that now feed upon your energy, and you are desperately seeking to feed them and to keep feeding them and to keep feeding them until they deplete you literally of your life. So these people become vampiric by nature because it is the only way that they can provide sustenance to their stupid thoughts. So the problem is, these vampires are, in most cases, they are subconsciously living. So they are simply draining others because they need to fulfill their stupid thoughts. And, well, their pains, their thoughts, and the such. The best case to present are obviously narcissists. They have also many pains within them, and sorrows and regrets and the such, but they hide them behind that mask of perfection. But still, they have to feed each and every one of their pains, hence why they become so vampiric. Yes, because when you look inside of them, it's like there is literally no soul. They have minimized themselves so much that literally they have the awareness of a virus, because technically that's what they are. They will always be a virus in other people's lives. So the point is, well, these people are problematic because they won't be easily healed. You cannot heal them while they are in that black hole state because they are subconsciously feeding their own thoughts. They are not feeding their healing. They are feeling that which they designed as oppressors, and now, or better said, suppressors. And now they are feeding their suppressors constantly because not only did they build convictions that everything about them is bad, they have been feeding those convictions. So if someone wants to heal those, they will need a lot of patience, and they will need to make that person feel comfortable in their skin. And then they will need to go through different challenges because they will seek to relapse, having invested years into that, especially dozens of years, or well, let's say 10, 20 years is a lot. And they will feel that those convictions that they have invested in are technically the same as their own life, the same as their own physical body. They will not want to give them up. Yes, it feels like losing something. Similarly, you can relate to your life when you have some junk in your house, some objects that maybe you will use, but you keep them around, you don't throw them. After months of keeping them there, probably even years, it feels impossible to throw them. It doesn't even exist in your mind that you want to throw them. And when it comes to the moment that you have to throw it away, it feels like you're throwing away a limb or a bit of you, because it also has been impregnated with your energy long enough that psychologically you perceive it as part of yourself. Yes? And it becomes almost a question of survivability. Yes, a question of survival, whether to throw that or not, because it's like your own survival becomes at stake when you have to give up on something that you identify as part of yourself. Yes, so that is a point. Yes, so these people have to be made to live in a conscious way, to realize that they are feeding the wrong things instead of feeding their own desires, feeding their own wish for improvement. Yes, once they become capable of taking this path, they will slowly and surely seek to heal. You can only be an example of how they can be, because you're not going to be able to heal anybody. You can only be a catalyst at most, but they are the ones who have to do the healing. So if they are not willing to invest time and energy into something that can cure them, right? Instead of investing their time and energy into something that constantly destroys them, well, they are not savable. So do not waste your time, do not waste your resources. These people, they have to tell you and they have to prove you that they want to save themselves. Yes? So hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You appreciate it, take care, enjoy life. This being said, Ferinjan Board signing out.